Good morning, everybody. Wow, what a Friday, huh? Change of weather. Change of weather. John had to take the snow off the car up at Red Rock. It was snowing, and I don't know if it was snowing where you are, but anyway, hopefully everybody's safe and sound. Um, so, March the 12th. All right, second, let's see. Yeah, here we go. We have got 0.68 months of inventory. Woo. And we're selling 142 homes a day. Oh my goodness, 142 homes. Oh, please. Jeez. Close the door, Kane. My new studio is a little bit noisy sometimes, especially when I'm not on schedule. So sorry about that, everybody. Anyway, 0.68 months of inventory, selling 142 homes a day. Oh my goodness, we have sold 1,564 homes so far, and it's not even the middle of the month. And let's see, in January, we sold 3,265 homes. We're going to surpass January. February, we sold 3,310, which was 118 homes a day. I think we're going to surpass February because we have sold, it's not even the 15th. And good morning, good morning. Sorry I'm late today, but I'm here. Anyway, yeah, so I don't know. And I know that people are being challenged by multiple offers and people offering more than the list price with concerns about whether or not things are going to appraise. And some agent was, I've talked to a couple of appraisers, and they say that the cash offers that go above list will push the prices, the median price up. Because they have to use those as comps. Then someone else told me that her appraiser told her that they give less weight to that. So I'm not sure. Hi, Frank. Do you know, Frank, you might know the answer to that. When it comes to the appraisers, do you think they give as much weight to the cash buyers closings as they do to the loan buyers closings? Love to hear your opinion on that one. So, my gosh, we've done 1.8 billion more in volume in 2.5 months than we did last year in 2.5 months. So that's quite an incredible increase, everybody. It really is. And I was spending some time earlier this morning looking at people's volumes that are in the top 25. And some of the people's volumes, now I do it by transactions. By the number of transactions, that's what all this information is up here. Number of transactions. So my point is that a lot of the people in the top 25, their volumes have really increased. And a lot of that is due to, the more expensive homes are selling faster. And that market between 400 and 750, 800, that market has increased. And I'm sure you've all noticed that. So let's get on with the show today. We have been talking about social media, LinkedIn, how to do different things. And so far we went over your checklist, posting articles, posting landing pages, doing live videos, thinking about a category for your weekly video. And let me see if I can't move up here a little bit. I think we ended. Nope, that's not it. Uh-oh, my sheet's not here. So let me hide this one and let's go to this one. Okay, I think this might be the one I was looking for. I literally ran in here. Okay, so I think we hide this one. Hold on, folks. Hide that one. Okay, so this is the one we want. Okay, so we were talking about the checklist. That's where I thought I was. So we've got downloadable guides. We've got your featured pages. We've got marketing videos. We talked about virtual tours, posting those. People love to search virtual tours, and posting a search every day and thinking about a category for your weekly video. So that's kind of like a review. And then we post the stats every day, and you can have like a market Monday, and you can talk about the home sales, the listings, the year-to-date sales, the month-to-date sales, and the median price of the homes that are over the past 10 years, and talk a little bit about the equity that someone can get if they are thinking about selling. Because you're trying to give valuable information, and I don't think everybody realizes how the principal sometimes adds to their equity. And good morning, good morning, good morning. Good to see everybody this morning. Yeah, it's a good day to stay home. Yeah, right. Let's see. So I created a Monday through Friday list here. So we're going to create a calendar for yourself so you'll be accountable for consistency. Monday, make it a market Monday. Post those Vegas market statistics. On Tuesday, make it client Tuesday. Hi, Karen. Good morning. Good morning, Karen. Good to see you. Good to see you. Quite a change in weather, huh? So Tuesday's client Tuesday. Photos or videos with a client that you recently sold a home to, or maybe you just recently listed a home, and say that there were numerous offers, but you negotiated to get them their dream home. And so that could be your client Tuesday. We talked about some of these things yesterday, but I kind of organized them for you. And then Wednesday, surprise Wednesday. I like surprise Wednesday. Do a quote day or a guide day or a video day. And you can get the content like we showed you yesterday from the resources in your Agent Formula Lab, or take a video of a listing. On Thursday, yesterday we talked about Throwback Thursday. So use a home that's sold in 2020 on March 18th after COVID lockdown, and then use a comparable home that sold this March 18th. And do this every Thursday until the end of the year to show the difference that COVID made and how we roared back. And then and as time goes on, and maybe the interest rates change a little bit, maybe our median price goes up a little bit, so you can continue to offer valuable information from that aspect of your Throwback Thursday. And again, as soon as you start giving value and talking to people about what's going on in the market, you're becoming an influencer, and you're becoming someone that they want to listen to and that they believe, know, like, and trust. Okay. Then on Friday, make it Feature Friday. Post a video about Las Vegas. You can use, one of ours that we have from Agent Formula, or you can take a video somewhere in Las Vegas to show our lifestyle. We've talked about Annetta, who goes to her local businesses on the east side and features them, which is really a nice thing to do. And that's really great for your, let's call it, social media juice, because especially if you're doing it live. So next, let's talk a little bit about just some ideas. And I throw this out there because people think of things in different mindsets. So this might be your mindset. So share a picture or a graphic with 2 to 3 sentences. Just real something simple. Past client and how you helped them. New home video or photo with prices. Events you've attended. Your best coffee shop, the best coffee shop in your area. Photos of your office and or your team. Photos or a video of clients moving into their new home. And photos of a home you previewed. Let me back up to the previous one for a second. Don't be saying, oh, I just closed this home, and I make it about them, not about you. It's not about you. You've closed your 10th deal this year, you closed your first deal this year. It's about the client that's found the home, their dream home in Green Valley, and priced right, and the low interest rates made it so possible for them to finally move into a home, or finally move up, or finally resize, whatever they're doing. But make it about your client, not about you. You're telling a story about them, and people love stories, and probably that client has a story. So the next thing is a photo of a home you previewed. So let's say, you're up, you see this beautiful home, that there's a virtual tour, and it's one of those that you can go in without, just telling the agent that you want to preview it, and then take some pictures, take a video of it, and say, I'm walking through this beautiful home, and if you click the link below, I'm going to show you a virtual tour of it as well. But just talk about it, because the virtual tours right now, there's no voiceover. So you can go look at the virtual tour before you do it, decide what you're going to say, what rooms you're going to show, and how great is that? You're doing, that's one step up from the virtual tour. And then, of course, you boost it. And if you're on LinkedIn, you might send it to California agents. And that video becomes, I would do it live, then I would download it, and then I would upload it to LinkedIn and or Facebook, and YouTube if you have a YouTube channel. So that's really a cool idea, I think. I hope you agree. Let's see, what was next here? Oh, home improvement tips. So people are always improving their homes. So maybe go around the office and say, do you know of anybody, any of your clients that are, redid their kitchen, or are redoing their bathrooms, or redoing their landscaping, so that, perhaps you can talk to that agent, or you can go, if the home may be listed, go and say, look what these people did to improve their home while they're selling it. So there's all types of things like that are human interest. And people love stories. They just love stories. We talked about your favorite restaurant. And then what about the important school dates? I mean, they do change, and different schools have different criteria. And that's not my wheelhouse. I have no children, but if you have children, I'm sure you know that everybody's concerned about what's going on in their particular school district. And maybe you're just talking about your school district, and then you're boosting it and targeting the zip code where you live. You can do that, put a circle around it. And then your favorite charity. Do you have a favorite charity? Do you have a charity that, you want to tell people what the charity's done for people? In Las Vegas, we have Opportunity Village. I think it was over Christmas when Nevada Power let people bring their bicycles there. You can do a throwback on that, and just say, do you realize how many bicycles were donated this Christmas? Maybe save that one for the next couple months when we get closer to Christmas. But anyway, your favorite charity could be something that you could definitely talk about. And then a day in the life of you. Yeah, I mean, I see the agents and they have issues, and somebody didn't sign this, and this escrow isn't closing on time, and this escrow has to close sooner because the buyer's going to lose their lock. They're going to go back into processing the loan with the underwriter. So there's all types of things that you can talk about when it comes to the day in the life of you. So let's see what we have next here. So then what I did is I took, see if I can make myself small. Oh, I did it right. Okay. So then this isn't, again, I'm trying to appeal to the way you all perhaps process information, because everybody does it a little differently. So you can put yourself into a mindset of the local real estate. You can put yourself into the mindset of national real estate. You can put yourself into local and community mindset, personal interest mindset, home and design mindset. And then I'm going to post this in the group because it's a little bit hard to see on the screen. But, like under local real estate, and a lot of these topics now we've talked about, but we didn't talk about them in this type of a category. So thank you, Charlotte says great ideas. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, believe me. So under local and community, what about your favorite dog parks and your kid parks, and then a couple of reasons why. So you can see there's so many different ways to approach the way you want to structure your content. And as I always say, and Jimmy Degg always says, Ruth always talks about consistency. So whatever you decide, and if we go back here real quickly. So we got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And one of the things that I didn't put on here, but I did mention yesterday was, Starbucks Saturday, if you like Starbucks. And, the different things that happen at Starbucks, or the people that you meet at Starbucks, or you can just say, look, I'm dropping by my favorite Starbucks today, and then I'm off to preview homes for, my buyer, or I'm off to a listing appointment, and, just take a minute or two and talk about you. People are interested in you, especially if you're interesting. So we can categorize our days, and then for content, and then these are just different things to jog your memory, or maybe things that appeal to you. And then here's putting them into different categories as well, because you might want to, there's 5 columns there. You might want Monday to be your stats. That's the local real estate. Tuesday, you might want to talk about things that are going on nationally, and you can go to the National Association of Realtors site, and every once in a while, now they don't post every day about what's going on in the country, but that's kind of a hit or miss thing with that topic, because they're not consistent. But when they do post things, they're very interesting. And then, maybe Wednesday you want to do local and community. Maybe Thursday you want to do personal interest. Maybe Friday you want to do home and design. And then Saturday your Starbucks Saturday. So that's a different way to look at things. Just trying to get you people on the road here to doing these things. So I'm going to post all these. This is a PowerPoint I made. I'm going to post that in these different slides. I'll take pictures of them and post them right into the group, so maybe you can keep it close by. Now, the other thing I want to talk about today is, let me hide this. I want to talk about, somebody wrote an article about 15 social media mistakes that all agents should avoid. And this agent isn't local. He's on the other side of the country, actually, other side of the United States. But he says that one of the mistakes that people make is they always post about listings. That's all they do. And I know that, I've seen some of that here as well. Now, that was maybe, I don't see it as much, because I think maybe like LinkedIn might have reached out to some people and said, you can't just do this every day. You have to have some variety. So it's pretty self-explanatory. Posting only listings is a mistake. And then the second mistake that I know that realtors have is the fear of being too repetitive. So, first of all, you just don't post listings. That's very repetitive, and we don't do that. But you should also have some consistency in your messaging. And that's like we did over here. Let's put this back up again. This one. So there's some consistency and some variety to what you're posting. And then the third thing that agents worry about is offending people. Well, you have to be careful. This particular agent says he doesn't care. In fact, I'll read you what he says. He says, I used to subscribe to ideas like don't ruffle feathers, don't talk about politics, don't talk about religion, or any decisive topics. But I'll be honest with you, I just don't care anymore. I thought that was funny. And then he said, some things are more important than people's opinions. I'm a very polarizing person, he said. You either love me or can't stand me, and I want it that way. So he took a stand on worrying about offending people. That's up to you. I think that's very subjective. I worry about offending people. I don't want to offend people. I'm sorry. I'm not that person. So, but some people, that's okay. That's them. We're all different, remember? And then number 4, he talks about worrying about showing too much real life. And I have to tell you, I know that some of the people that I follow, they do a fantastic job about talking about their real life. And I won't mention names, but they really, really do a great job of talking about their life. Well, I will mention one person because she's been on my show, Erin Mills. She does a great job of showing her family playing frisbee with a dog or decorating the Christmas tree or whatever she's doing, and she makes it interesting. And I used to talk about Pinky Knows Naples. Pinky used to work for Fox Broadcasting. I think we've said that. And Pinky knows that you have to have something in mind. You have to have something that's going to resonate with your audience when you start showing things about yourself. And so Pinky never really worried about showing too much real life. She just worried that when she did that, there was a point to be made or a tip to give, and not necessarily a tip at all about real estate, or maybe, a fun fact about Las Vegas. Like, we're the only city that you can see from the moon because of all the lights here. Just interesting how many shrimp people eat, and maybe you can do some comparison. And like last year during COVID, nobody ate any shrimp here in Vegas, and now we're back and people are eating shrimp again. You can always put a real life twist on things, and do not shy away from showing great videos about yourself. And I know Erin shows her family, shows her husband, shows her son and her dog. And you got to be careful about that. You don't want to give people addresses where you live and things like that. So just be careful a little bit so that you don't get stalked, or I worry about that too because we teach cybersecurity. Okay, moving on today. Number 5, worrying about being too boring. Some days we all worry about being too boring, right? Because we just didn't wake up with that energy in our brain, or the synapses wasn't going off. But and that's going to happen, but it's okay. We're human. We're human. And we live in a society where everybody loves to peek behind the curtain and see what people do in their day-to-day lives. And yes, sometimes that's even boring, right? That's funny. Number six, Jeff says, worrying about giving away the farm. Well, he says, I've made tons of videos helping real estate agents become more successful. I tell them literally all my secrets to building a successful business. And why would I do this? Well, number 1, I'm not worried about the competition. And I'm going to bring Erin's name up again, Erin Mills, because she said, let's have community over competition. And I think that was a great statement. Let's help each other. Let's be a community of solid Las Vegas real estate agents and not be afraid to help each other, because we know there's enough business to go around. That's for sure. And that's kind of something I love about social media, because as we give information and tips or help other people, it's not like we're giving them our script, our playbook. It's ourselves. And people, I think one of the things that social media has brought to the forefront is that people know, like, and trust you because of social media. And so I think that's the fact that we can help each other, that we can share ideas. We're all going to process them and produce them in a different way and use them in a different way with our personality to attract clients and to keep our clients. And then it makes you, when you share, people think, oh my goodness, like Sam Coleman, Hoops to Homes. He's been on my show and talk to everybody about how he does his open houses. I mean, he's sharing that information, and then, the younger agents look up to him and say, oh, I want to be like Sam when I grow up, and become a successful real estate agent. So it makes you appear as an expert to people. And as you know, there's always new agents coming into this market, and there's always agents that need to get back to basics. So, and you're only helping people. I mean, y'all can't hold the same open house every day. We know that. And then the other thing that it does, besides making you look like an expert to your peers, word gets around and you start to become perhaps what they call an authority. And I call them influencers in your business. So anyway, that's that mistake. Don't worry about giving away the farm. Um, I hear I hear agents all the time, especially when Jimmy and I and Kane were teaching Brian Buffini, and the things that people shared and the ideas that they had were really creative and thinking outside the box. So I think it's a good idea. Um, Jeff says mistake number 7 is comparing yourself to other agents. I don't know about you all, but I think we've kind of over that in Vegas. I don't see a lot of that. I don't see a lot of that. In fact, I think that we do have more community than competition here. And I think it's because we have such a vibrant market and there are people moving here. So our market has been very dynamic. And so I don't see a lot of jealous realtors or, people trying to hurt other agents. I don't see a lot of that. And then Jeff's number 8 says bragging too much. Well, we talk about that all the time. And I said that earlier. You don't want to say that, oh, I just got an accepted offer, because that's about you. Again, you make it about your client. Oh, Bill and Sally just got their dream home. And as you all know, the market out there is very competitive, but we made it happen for them, and they're going to move in, and they're with their kids and their dogs. They're going to go to the school they want to do. Make it a positive experience. Don't make it about you. And I mean, please just don't make, he says bragging too much. I say, don't brag at all. Don't even go there. So number 9, he says, focus on yourself and not your clients is a mistake. Well, we talk about that. I think that's, we've said enough about that. And then asking for business. Wow. It seems super counterintuitive, because in real estate, it's like, well, aren't we supposed to be asking for business all the time? Aren't I supposed to be saying, oh, by the way, if you have a friend or family member who would be interested in real estate, would I be the realtor you would recommend? Well, that's asking someone maybe one-on-one, but I wouldn't put that so much on social media, because then you become you're asking people to buy something versus giving valuable information. So you have to wrap your head around the distinction there. Using the same posts on different platforms. Yeah, you have to kind of tailor things sometimes now with, and I think more to LinkedIn than anything. Facebook, I think you can pretty much, do your own thing. But when you post things on LinkedIn, I think you have to be a little bit more reserved. And maybe if you wrote maybe you're not going to do so many funny videos about your life on LinkedIn like you might on Facebook or YouTube or TikTok if you're into TikTok. So on LinkedIn, I think you have to kind of just think a little bit before you do anything too crazy. And the things that I have listed here, none of it is too crazy. So I try to keep it to where you can post relevant information on LinkedIn and Facebook. And why I do that, everybody, is to take some of the burden off of the time it takes to do these things. So I believe, and I know that Jeff doesn't believe this so much, but he's from a different market as well. And maybe he doesn't have all the variety of things to post about that we do that are relevant for LinkedIn and Facebook. So I'm taking that into consideration. I'm sure that wherever he lives, that might be relevant, but I don't think it's relevant for us. We have too much to talk about here. And then he's saying not using the proper grammar and spelling. So some people say house for sale, SELO. Some people say I sell this house. And then some people say you versus YOU. Don't without the apostrophe. Want to miss this home with a 3 instead of an E. So I don't know. I don't think that's too cool. Maybe if you're doing a funny video or something like that and it's contextual, all right, meaning that's what your video was meant to be funny. But I think you really need to watch your spelling and grammar. And then just being plain ignorant of what's going on around you. Yeah. this is a tough one, and I don't know really what he's referring to, but he says, I'm not trying to be the thought police here. You're entitled to hold whatever opinions you want. Just be aware that sharing those opinions can have consequences. Well, yeah, of course. Kane, when we do our social media classes, always talks about, what you shouldn't really talk about is politics and religion, and you shouldn't show you need to be careful on social media how much you tell about your, where you live or where you're going on vacations, and so Jeff's saying don't be ignorant, and I would put maybe telling too many things and not being discretionary about the things you say. I would say that you need to be cautious. I don't know. He says don't be ignorant. I would say be cautious. Just be cautious. And then number 14, he says only posting in one style. Well, we've already talked about that. We talked about that, and I don't want to repeat that again to you because he's basically, he's saying what we're saying, but he says it in a different way. And then the other thing, and this is interesting because he's saying be engaging. And of course, we want to be engaging. And sometimes the best way to do that is to ask questions or do a poll and see who answers them. I know Aaron Mills does that. And Pinky Nose Naples does that. And there's some other people out there that do that. So that's his do's and don'ts. So from someone's perspective, and he basically says what we say. He just says it in a different way, and that's fine. And that's what I was doing today, is presenting things in a different way for you, because we all have different mindsets, and different things tickle our creativity differently. I love working with Kane and Jimmy, because Jimmy said in class yesterday, he says, Ruthie and I never agree. We're talking about brokerage, right? Different ways that brokers do things. And then Kane and I, we disagree a lot, but you know what happens? And then my husband and I disagree a lot, John. But you know what happens when you disagree, and if you know how to do it properly, something good comes of it. When you are open to accepting the fact that, you might not be right, maybe you might think about, how to repurpose what you're trying to say. You're just saying it the wrong way. And then when two people start to collaborate, and I love collaboration, ideas are born, inventions are made, better ways of doing things are created, And so I think it's okay that you're not always right, and that there's collaboration. And I would invite you to collaborate with your peers, with your broker, with your family, and get a self audit. I think that's where I was headed, is just giving yourself a social media audit, but letting somebody else do it for you. Like I think I'm going to have Jimmy and Kane audit me, and then we're going to audit Kane, and then Kane and I audit Jimmy, and we'll see what comes of it. And maybe we'll report back to you how that goes. So I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I will tell you that on Monday, we are going to have a class, and it's a great class, especially, listings, list to last. It's always a good thing to have listings. And when you have some advanced strategies, I think that gets you closer to getting the listing. And I don't know if anybody can let me know out there, but are you finding that sellers are interviewing more than one or two agents? I know that John and I over the years have seen this different cycles, and I think I've never really collected the data properly to determine if that had anything to do with the market. So in a slower market, do people just want to get their house listed with anybody, or do they want to interview lots of people? In this kind of a market, at least what John has seen, is that people want to talk to more than one agent. And it's that to me is counterintuitive, because you put your house on the market today and it's gone, right? If it's priced right. But I think everybody wants to have the best person representing them. So And I think maybe because there's a lot of advertising, agents are out there and people see them on social media. And so they're seeing that there's maybe more than just one expert for their neighborhood and what have you. But anyway, Jimmy has some great advanced strategies for you. And the class is 10 to 1 on Monday at 8400 West Sahara. And you can Zoom or you can come to class. You just have to wear a mask and you get a free lunch. And I have to say, yesterday, I think we had one of our biggest classes since COVID. People were anxious to get out there, and everybody wore a mask. We're all compliant with the real estate division, but we had a lot of agents, it was just good to see all the faces. And then we had a tremendous amount on Zoom as well. So I think people are getting it that we have to keep up with the education today. And Jimmy's probably going to talk a little bit, I know, about multiple offers and things like that and how to handle them with the sellers. And then, of course, the other agents, because we have to maintain that community over competition with our fellow agents. So you all have a wonderful weekend. I will be on tomorrow morning with Marketing Max. And we have a surprise guest. So join us at 9 o'clock tomorrow. I look forward to seeing you. Go to B.Vegas, BEE.Vegas, and sign up for Monday's class and learn those advanced strategies for sellers and get 3 agency credits at the same time. Love you all. Have a great day. Bye, everybody.